Snow might seem peaceful and serene, but in horror movies, it often becomes a cold and unforgiving killer. Whether it's isolation, the threat of freezing to death, or something lurking just beyond the white horizon, snow can turn the most tranquil scenes into a nightmare. In today's video, we're looking at some horror movies where the snow is more than just a backdrop. It's part of the terror. Let's dive in. Iced is a campy 80s slasher set at a ski resort, where a group of friends reunites years after a tragic skiing accident. One by one, they're hunted by a mysterious killer, complete with cheesy one-liners and all the glorious 80s fashion you'd expect. The snow adds to the isolation. There's no escape when you're trapped on a mountain, especially when a blizzard hits. Released in 1988, it had only been available on VHS until early 2025, when Vinegar Syndrome finally released a limited edition Blu-ray. VHS copies typically sell near the triple-figure mark on eBay. Distributed by Trauma, Frostbiter, Wrath of the Wendigo is as weird and chaotic as you'd imagine. It's about a group of hunters who accidentally awaken a Wendigo while out in the snowy wilderness. What follows is low-budget mayhem, including stop-motion effects, a house surrounded by supernatural snow, and a plot that feels like a fever dream. The snow here traps the characters in a remote, cursed landscape, making escape nearly impossible. It's goofy, it's gory, and it's pure trauma chaos. Next up is Shredder, a slasher flick about snowboarders being stalked by a masked killer at an abandoned ski lodge. The killer has a personal vendetta against reckless skiers and snowboarders, and the snow plays a major role in the kills. Icy cliffs, frozen rivers, and even ski lifts become death traps. It's a hidden gem of the early 2000s, and it leans hard into its snowy slasher setting. This one didn't get much attention when it came out, but it's worth checking out if you're into themed slashers. Decoys is an oddball Canadian horror movie about college guys who discover that their dream girls are actually aliens. These extraterrestrial femme fatales are trying to mate and kill in the process. The snowy setting adds an extra layer of danger as they lure their victims out into the freezing cold. Plus, the alien designs are bizarrely memorable, and it's one of those movies where the snow feels like a natural extension of the plot. It's weird, it's campy, and it's got that distinctly early 2000s charm. Before we get to our final pick, let's give a shout out to Let the Right One In. This Swedish masterpiece tells the story of a bullied boy who befriends a young vampire in a snow-covered suburb. The snow here creates a quiet, isolating atmosphere that mirrors the loneliness of the main characters. It's haunting, beautiful, and not your typical horror movie, but it's a must-watch if you haven't seen it. And finally, we've got Frozen. If Disney's Frozen taught us to let it go, this movie teaches us to hold on, for dear life. This Frozen is about three friends who get stranded on a ski lift, stuck in the freezing cold with no hope of rescue. The snow and ice are as much the villain as the wolves circling below. Director Adam Green went to extreme lengths to film this, using a real ski lift and exposing the stellar cast to brutal weather conditions. Our three main characters each absolutely nail the assignment, providing both heartbreaking and exhilarating performances while mainly confined to a chairlift. Turns out, the cold really does bother you. A lot. That wraps up our list of horror movies set in the snow. Perfect for when you're snowed in. Did we miss any of your favorites? Leave a comment down below, and let's keep the conversation going. If you enjoyed this list, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more chilling horror content. Thanks for watching.